Okay, let's dive right in. If you're running a small business here in Canada, you already know the benefits game can feel, well, a little rigged. How in the world are you supposed to offer amazing coverage to attract the best people without a massive enterprise-level price tag? Well, today we're going to break down a potential answer to that exact problem, the Red Helm Flex Plan. Let's see how it works.
So, this is the big one, isn't it? If you're a small business owner, this question is probably always humming in the back of your mind. You really want to offer your people great benefits. You want to attract and keep them. But the costs, they can seem totally out of reach. How do you possibly compete with the huge corporations on this? That is the fundamental problem we're going to tackle.
Let's really unpack that dilemma. The issue with so many traditional group benefits plans is that they're just one size fits all. Think about it. A new grad just starting their career has totally different needs than a parent of 3, right? But these old school plans often just lump everyone into the same expensive, inflexible box. And what happens? You end up paying for coverage that your team might not even want or use.
So if the old way is broken, what's the alternative? This is exactly where a plan like Red Helm Flex steps in. It's built from the ground up to solve that specific problem, and it's all based on 3 really important pillars: flexibility for your employees, genuine choice, and some pretty powerful tax efficiency for you, the business owner.
At its heart, the model is, well, it's brilliantly simple. The company provides a solid, dependable foundation of coverage for everybody, and from there, the employee gets to choose. They get to decide if that's enough for them or if they want to upgrade based on their own personal needs. I love this analogy they use. It's like the company buys everyone a fantastic, reliable bicycle. It works great. But if one person wants super fast racing tires and someone else wants a bigger basket for groceries, they can choose to add those upgrades themselves.
So let's walk through how this actually works, step by step. First, the company commits to covering 100% of the Bronze Plan for every single person on the team. That's the foundation, it's paid for. Then, the power shifts completely to the employee. They get to look at their own life, their health, their family situation, and decide what they really need. And based on that, they can either stick with the free Bronze Plan, which is great, or they can choose to upgrade to Silver or Gold, and they just pay the difference right through payroll. Simple.
Now, if you're a business owner, this is where it gets incredibly smart. From a financial perspective, providing these benefits is a tax-deductible expense. That's a huge plus. Even better, it completely bypasses payroll taxes, which saves the company about 13% right off the top. And for your employees, this is the best part. They get the full value of these benefits, completely tax-free. It's a true win-win.
All right, so we've been throwing around these terms: bronze, silver, gold. What does that actually mean for an employee? What kind of choices are they really making? Let's put these tiers side by side and see what you get. Let's start with paramedical services. Things like physiotherapy, massage, chiro. On that company-paid Bronze Plan, these aren't included. But for a small upgrade to Silver, an employee suddenly unlocks $500 in coverage. And if they decide to bump up to Gold, not only does that increase to $750, but it's also the only tier that adds in vision care for glasses or contacts.
And, it's a very similar story when you look at dental. The Bronze Plan gives you some basic coverage, but the real value really shows up when an employee decides to upgrade. The Silver Plan gives them their own dedicated $1,000 just for dental. And the Gold Plan? Well, that's where it gets really comprehensive, covering major work like crowns and bridges, and even orthodontics, like braces.
Now, when we talk about prescription drugs, the Gold Plan offers up a massive jump in security. We're talking up to $5,000 in coverage per family member every single year. For an employee who's managing a chronic condition, or for a family with ongoing medication needs, that one difference can be absolutely life-changing.
But the customization doesn't just stop with the Gold Plan. For people who want even more security, the plan lets them add on these optional layers of protection. This is where you can build a truly customized safety net.
And maybe the most important add-on is something called catastrophic drug coverage. So what on earth is that? Well, think of it as your ultimate safety net for a worst-case scenario. It's specifically designed to cover the astronomical costs of specialized drugs for really serious conditions, so you can focus on getting better, not on financial ruin.
The value here it's just incredible. For basically the cost of a few coffees a month, An employee can add $1 million in coverage per family member. $1 million. Yeah, there's a deductible, of course, but what you're really buying here is just profound peace of mind. It can even cover pre-existing conditions after a 24-month waiting period. It's huge.
And employees can also choose to protect what is, let's be honest, their single most important financial asset, their income. There are 2 optional plans here for disability and serious illness. For just a bit more each month, the enhanced plan literally doubles the core protection. It gives you $2,000 a month if you can't work, and a total benefit of $200,000 for permanent disability.
And this really gets to the core of why this stuff matters so much. This quote just hits the nail on the head. Financial hardship so often comes directly from poor health. An unexpected illness, a sudden injury, it can stop you from working and earning an income just like that. And that's why protecting it is just so fundamental.
Okay, so let's bring all this home and look at the bottom line. The whole system is built on really clear, transparent pricing so that employees can make decisions that they actually feel good about. Truly empowered decisions.
So what does this all actually cost? Here are the monthly numbers. Now remember the most important thing. The company's covering that entire first column, the bronze plan. So for a single employee on that plan, their cost is 0. Nothing. If they decide they want more coverage and want to upgrade to silver, they just pay the difference, which is less than $18 a month out of their pocket. That kind of transparency is what makes this whole thing click.
So, what are the big takeaways here? What should you really remember? First, acceptance is guaranteed for everyone who's eligible. No painful medical questionnaires. Second, it's all about true flexibility. Employees pick what fits their life. Third, it's about empowerment. They can use those add-ons to build a totally custom plan. And finally, it's simple. They can even adjust their coverage every single year as their life and needs change.
And all of this leaves us with one last really critical question. Whether you're a business owner or an employee, it's worth asking yourself, in a world where talent is everything and where everyone's needs are so different, is a one-size-fits-all approach really good enough anymore? What level of choice are you willing to offer or maybe demand to truly protect your team's well-being? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.